Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the third episode of Copecast. This is Ali and Jack, and we still have Akram. I don't know why we have him. Honestly, we should kick him out.
I'm only here for the comedic relief, as I always say.
It's not comedic.
I just did it. What are you talking about?
So this is as we said before, the first episode of Copecast. The Copecast we didn't give it the name, so this is the third episode technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways,
this will be a continuation from the last one since we're recording it immediately after. There's a point before we get into the actual flow of what we did before, taking it right back to the start of the episode. You were speaking about Freud, and then him making a point about men's sexual desire is normally channeled in a way as like a cope towards doing things. I do think that is very, very true. I think almost all of civilization.
I mean, he had some evidence on that. But the fact that you say anyone is like that, let me give an example. For instance, Einstein was a womanizer, definitely, and he was a fucking brilliant dude. So not everyone is like that. But Freud's theory was, I don't think he meant literally everyone, but he meant that there might have been some. So he didn't necessarily mean that they couldn't have sexual intercourse or sexual satisfaction. I think he meant that there were things that they could not. There were repressed thoughts or repressed maybe some repressed sexual. When he says sexual, not necessarily between a man and a woman, like they say. If you have like a forbidden relationship, some socially forbidden relationship, that would be a repressed sexual thing for him. He said that it usually maybe not literally, but he said that was the motivation. Yeah. So, but as I said, a counter example would be Einstein's example. He was a brilliant dude, obviously,
and he was slinging dick as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, for God's sake, Heisenberg came up with his equation when he was with his mistress on a vacation. That is funny. This is literally true.
Yeah.
I think the only nerd was Dirac. He was the only.
Okay.
I mean, Feynman, for God's sake, man. Feynman is a playboy. He's that's a frat boy that for some reason took a Nobel Prize. Yeah. I don't know how you. That's a frat boy who took a Nobel Prize. So.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Yeah, I think maybe this wasn't Freud's exact point, but similar to it, it does seem to be that most of civilization is built off of the men having to sublimate their sexual desires because they have to be monogamous and then put that into playing status games to then build society.
I think you might be interpreting it slightly
so I'm not saying Freud said this, I'm just saying it's a jumping off point to how I've noticed, because I mean most of society is
I don't deny. Let me clarify that I don't deny. I'm not completely disagreeing, but I'm also not completely agreeing with you and with Freud.
So what part do you disagree with, do you think?
I just disagree that
or to what extent do you disagree with? You might not disagree with any of the point. Add some caveats to it.
So I only disagree with the part when you start generalizing. I think that just some people are so fucking good that you don't need to.
So you're talking about the upper, the top, less than 1% of dudes.
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily apply to.
Yeah. Some people are naturally they have the genetics, they have the mind for it, they have the. Obviously the sexual life for it. They just break the rules, man, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If this was like a rule, a psychological rule, if that makes sense, they just break it.
Yeah.
Which is obviously I don't think Freud meant it literally, but for those who take it literally, I completely disagree if it's if it's a general rule, I don't think Freud meant it that way.
I don't think psychology works that way.
Exactly. It's not
mostly
a law of physics. It's a statistical, a statistical thing. So in the statistical sense, I agree.
Oscar Wilde's quote about everything in the world is about sex, except for sex. It's about power.
Wait, no, what's that saying again?
Oscar Wilde said...
He was gay, right?
Yeah.
Linking it back to the other episode,
so he was saying...
everything in the world is about sex, except for sex.
It's about power.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's trippy, man.
That is trippy.
So...
What was he famous for?
The importance of being earnest.
The picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh, okay, I've heard that one. Yeah.
What? Say that again?
Yeah, the picture of Dorian Gray. It's the one where it looks keeps looking at the painting and he gets uglier or like more decrepit in the photo, and it's like a reflection of his inner soul or something.
But
like
Oscar Wilde was a writer as well.
that was the book he wrote, right? That was a book that he wrote.
The importance of
Who's the
being
dude that made
earnest.
movies? That was.
Oh
like,
wait, was
I'm thinking of?
it the name of a book? I thought it was an actual image. It's the name of a book.
Yeah, it's the name of a novel.
Oh! I thought it was an actual image. Okay, because the one that I read for him was the importance of being earnest, and that was just a complete comedy.
Oh, okay.
It was a dude who's earnest that was not earnest, and how important it was for him to be earnest, and it was just like a whole freaking, you don't know which one he was talking about anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was just it was a play actually. It was just a funny play.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but so that's what I know for him, and it has a very famous line that I honestly don't remember, but it's a very famous line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of the book? I haven't read. There's a lot of fiction, like classic fiction, that I haven't read. What do you think of it?
Of Picture of Dorian Gray?
Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of it.
Are you reading
Like,
it currently?
Yeah.
Ah,
How long
nice.
is it?
I don't remember. I see the problem with
Oh
the way
yeah.
I read.
This is sorry to interrupt, but this is the famous line: "The truth is rarely pure, but never simple." Sorry, it's rarely pure and never simple.
What is?
That's not the truth.
The truth. Sorry, fuck, man. Say it for me one
The
more
truth
time.
is rarely pure and never simple.
Okay.
That's the famous line from The Importance of Being Earnest.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
When you're reading books,
Uh,
sorry, go on, finish.
It was an audiobook, and I was listening to it while recovering from an eye surgery.
Okay.
So once I recovered, I didn't
You
go
make
back.
Fair enough.
You make an
Yeah.
excuse of not reading.
Huh?
You make an excuse.
Listen. I don't really. I stopped reading novels.
No, just reading
for
in
some-
general.
No, I
Taking
still
the piss
read
and
stuff.
taking the piss.
When you
I'm
read
here
the
for the
books,
comedic.
Ali and I were talking about
comedic
this.
relief.
Yeah. Ali and I were talking about this a little bit ago. We were talking about when you read a book, what do you picture the characters'
Ooh,
faces?
that's a good one, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a
Character?
good one.
Yeah, so like so we used the example of I was reading 1984 a while back, and then whenever I noticed that I remembered people's descriptions of their faces really well. When Ali reads, he just has kind of he reads the description and then has like a amorphous body. You describe what it's like. for you in your head.
Have you read Metamorphosis?
No.
Okay, what have you read that has a physical description of a character, a vivid physical description of a character?
I don't really remember. Like the last time I read a novel,
Just
maybe
anything. It doesn't have to be a novel.
Maybe Dorian Gray, because that's the last thing I remember.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
say I'm describing the scene and I'm saying that he's tall with broad shoulders, red hair, like blue eyes, whatever. I when I read something like that, it does not register. Let's say
yeah, me
let's
too.
say this is that dude is named Kevin. Okay, so when I read the name Kevin in the story or in the novel, I don't think of broad shoulders, red hair or whatever. I don't think of the physical characteristics. For me, the characters are the psychology that is being played out. So whenever I read Kevin, I think of a dude who has these characteristics. I don't register his eye color. I'd have to go read it again to remember his characteristics. But what Jack was saying was whenever he reads Kevin, he's constantly remembering what Kevin
I'm visualizing
looks like.
an actual physical scene.
My visualization is more of on the side of the
Yeah,
characteristic side visualization.
I guess I'm more aligned with your.
Interesting.
Yeah, very
Well, Ali, he's
intriguing.
pointing to Ali. He points it for the listener.
Okay, so there are instances where I would imagine a face or like a physical attributes, but maybe they have a page that they draw some characters and then they start associating.
It'll be more if you see a photo, like a drawing, then you start
and
associating
sometimes
it.
that happens. Like in a lot of novels, they would draw.
But if there was no
like-
drawing, then you wouldn't
I
necessarily
wouldn't,
start
I wouldn't.
picturing them.
You
Interesting,
want to know the
man.
funny
Okay.
bit? Even if there's a drawing, I don't imagine him. I
okay.
don't think that's what I'm saying. Whenever I read the name, it doesn't bring me back to a physical look. It brings me back to the way he behaves. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because part of me thought, well, it doesn't actually. I thought something, but then it obviously doesn't apply. It's the fact that both of you don't picture the person visually. You notice phenotypes in real life and draw conclusions about people's personality.
Yes, he does
you
not.
don't. I picture the person in the book, and then I draw phenotypical conclusions when I meet a person as well, to a certain degree.
Very intriguing.
Yeah, because again, with like 1984,
But-
you described
but
like
as well
something
as-
like beady little eyes, bureaucrat running around. I was like, I've met people like that. I know.
I have
type
not
of
met.
personality that matches the face.
I have not met people who get that thing with me and Akram.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I never really asked. I just assumed everybody was like me. Did you assume other people were like you?
I
or
assume
did you never
people
think
would
of it
not
as well?
like me because
Yeah.
it's just natural to think of. You want to know
So
how.
but
how do you
I mean,
know?
that's why people.
Yeah.
That's why people read novels. Is
Yeah.
They want to imagine like how the characters play.
Yeah, you're
out
often some
exactly.
yeah.
They want to have some imagination.
I don't know.
about it.
I imagine events, but the problem is the physical characteristics are not uniform across all of these events.
Is it like their face? So they'll change from scene to scene,
Yeah,
or their
it's not
face is
just-
kind of
the
like a
face
blur?
is not
not-
visible.
It's not defined.
Yeah, it's not defined. It's,
like
just
in
a
dream.
silhouette.
You know, like if you look at a clock in a dream, like an analog clock, and you look back in a dream and it changes every time. That type of thing. Is it kind of?
It's
you,
like
and you
someone-
never truly pay too much attention.
Yeah,
It always kind of.
yeah.
It's like a
fuzzy.
hazy. It's like a picture of a hazy person. Is that what
That's-
it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For some reason, when I was younger, I had this visualization of God, and it was a
As a
silhouette of a
Black
religious.
silhouette?
Yeah, a
I had the
religious.
exact
religious
same
cleric.
thing, dude.
Really?
Yeah, he was famous back in
Whom that?
Shadow.
Oh.
Wait,
That he looked like him?
His silhouette, like
no, I did not have that. I did
Yeah.
not have that.
Wait, so describe it more fully then. What is
So
this?
there's a really famous religious dude who is truly true to the religion, I guess.
Well, like a saint? Do you have saints?
Not a saint,
No,
no, not a
Do you
saint.
have saints?
It's
that what
just a
saint?
sheikh. A sheikh is
saints
A sheikh is a
exist
saint, or is
in
like a-
in some forms of Islam. It's the mystic form, Sufism.
Okay.
So they have saints.
Yeah.
no,
but-
but you can't say Islam has saints.
But like your-
in the
No, but-
Bible, but so the Quran doesn't mention saints, but the Bible mentions
No.
saints.
And
It
saints have
does.
existed, and the saints have existed.
It does.
Not in the
It
sense.
does
as
I
well.
mean, it mentions people with good characteristics, but not saints.
Would they be holy men? So like a saint would be
Not
in,
holy. So they're not holy.
What do you mean by
They-
holy
they-
man?
Yeah, it's a good clarity.
Yeah.
So like the saints have existed post Christ, and they're just dudes that are like, and women, I guess, and they're not. They have moral faults. They're tainted by sin, but they just live very holy lives, like very ascetic
Yeah.
practices.
Yeah,
very close to God.
it's similar.
They would be called saints, but I think they're supposed to technically be ordained by one of the church.
Yeah, but
Normally at
the
post-death.
we have
Well,
the same thing.
in Islam, in
but
Islam-
sometimes they
Is there a word for it though, or
attribute.
you just like that dude's holy as hell? That dude's really.
Yeah, there are words. It's wali.
no, but the thing is, my
Which
point is, no one would name himself that.
Oh, it's not a name. Yeah, okay. Fair.
So
Okay,
the
so-
second,
so-
I mean,
the
same
second
thing for-
no,
with
just wait,
saints,
just wait,
yeah.
right?
just wait. No one, even after he dies, would name him that.
and it's not an official designation
And
given
it's
by.
not exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
okay,
trying to
okay.
say. So it's not like the only.
No,
the,
it's
the,
an
the point is-
official.
No, it's not.
In the
It's not.
in Islamic mysticism, you have
So this isn't the other branch. of
different
Islam then,
schools.
yes.
Different
So this
schools
is
and
why I said
branches.
it's not mentioned in Quran that it's official. Like only God would know if he's a saint or not. That's
What?
my
Okay.
point.
What about what's your branch called? That you did both you
It's just
did
the
follow
Sunni.
or do follow? in
The
case
Sunni
your family's
and
listening.
which is
I don't.
the Sunni, which is
I don't know if your mum was listening and should get. This.
Yeah, I don't.
it's
think you
literally
would understand,
98% of the Islamic
Yeah,
world is
yeah,
Sunni.
yeah. So they wouldn't have like the.
They wouldn't have that.
The Sunni church or well, not fucking church. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't designate
There's,
somebody
so
after
there's
their
no
death
such
as
an
the.
entity in Islam at
Okay.
all. Like there's no entity that there's an entity that says what's forbidden and what's not, but there's not an entity.
That authority then. What's that authority?
But
called?
that's what I'm
do you-
saying.
what
That
do you refer to
authority, authority doesn't have any other authority apart from saying things are forbidden. or not. They don't have
it's-
authority over people. They
So
don't
it's
have
it's
authority-
different from Christianity a little bit because
Yeah.
Islam is infused with the culture and jurisprudence and legal issues. So the authority would be a judge in a city.
I mean like normative authority, like
No,
when
no,
they
he
make
doesn't
like a
mean it in
moral.
this way. He means like a spiritual.
Yeah, like normative authority.
So that's
it
not
depends
that. Like, people
on
would
the
give him-
area.
people would give him like would revere them.
people as in like the institution
Normal
or just the
people.
average person.
The average person
okay,
would
that's what I'm
revere
trying to
them.
get at. Yeah.
But there's no it doesn't have any power like the church.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Normative authority like the church.
Mm.
Yes.
What do you call it instead of church? What's the word that you would use for this? What would
It's-
the Sunnis use for like the structure that does have that
It's like
authority to
the
make these
fatwa.
claims?
The fatwa
Scholars.
means-
They would call it, for
Yeah,
instance,
just
scholars.
scholars. Yeah,
Okay,
scholars is a
okay.
good word.
the
yeah.
scholarly consensus.
Yeah.
On-
So
on
so
some
that's
issue.
that's actually a very good description. So there's
Okay.
there's no. You get what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
no,
now.
I get you
Scholars,
now. Yeah,
scholars
this is what
is
I
a
was
very
getting at, yeah, this is what I
scholars
was
is a
trying to
very
ask
different vibe from the church in Christianity.
Yeah.
If that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice. Yeah. There's this complete. That was a side tangent to what you were saying though about what were we talking about?
I don't remember.
What was it?
I don't remember.
No,
we were talking about that they don't have it. That's why there's no entity in Islam. We'll give the
Yeah, but we were talking about saints and holy
title.
men before that, and I asked the clarification. Oh man, what was it?
That's what I'm saying. They don't have they have an equivalent in Islam, but there's no one who would dare call.
But why was that brought up? Why did I bring up saints? Akram said something that passed to you, and then I asked, like, oh, would you even call him saints? Like, was he a saint?
Well,
Was
you
it
want to
really deep?
rewind the tape?
Well, I guess we'll move on then. We shouldn't spend too much time.
No, I want to remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's chill. It's chill. I shouldn't have pushed it so hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to call it unhinged.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
God, what was it, man?
We were talking about that dude who was really true to his religion. Akram.
Silhouette?
Imagine his.
Yes,
silhouette.
yes.
I
Okay,
got something I want to go back
so
to. Yeah.
to go back to the point,
Yeah.
people really revered him.
Okay.
But he obviously he would not call himself that. And,
Yeah, okay.
But so Akram had.
He wasn't even a good person, to be fair, but yeah.
He wasn't. How do you know that? That's
Who
a
is?
fucking outrageous claim, man.
None of us are
Okay,
good
we're not
people.
gonna talk about this.
No, talk about it. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna write a note of where we were at. Draw a little silhouette of what I-
Let me get back to
I'm gonna
finish
draw.
the
I'm
silhouette points.
I'm gonna draw a silhouette of God, of Allah, and I'm gonna draw a little cartoon of Muhammad, and then we'll loop back to whatever.
Let me
so-
finish the point before you describe him. Let me finish the point. So
Okay.
I did not have that imagination. I had a black silhouette, not necessarily a face, just a black silhouette as
Okay.
a representation
Of God, of
Yeah,
Allah.
yes, but not of a specific person, just a representation.
Okay, what about you, Jack?
Getting back to your
No,
point.
I
What
wanna
did you
hear
picture?
Jack's-
What did you picture?
Imagination of God.
It's that little guy there.
What?
That's just what I drew. It's just scribbled hard. That's Allah. That's official, dude. That's canonical.
Oh, a biblically accurate
Scholars-
God.
scholars agree. Yeah, the Islamic scholars, Sunni scholars. That's what.
Okay,
they would say.
let's hear why you think he was not a good person. He's got something.
No, can we
to
finish?
dis-
Oh yeah, loop back to the thing.
He's
Yeah.
got something to disagree on for every freaking thing in
Sure,
society.
dude,
Even,
like,
even if it was good.
even
Even if it was
myself.
good.
No, he doesn't. No, he
Even
doesn't.
myself, like
You remember
You should
like-
work for, you should
do you
work for
remember-
Monty Python arguing.
For example, he was a bit radical.
In terms of what? Give actual example. I know a lot about him, so give me actual
Okay.
examples.
People who leave Islam should be killed, for example. Is that a
He
good
said
thing?
that?
He said that, yes. He was a little bit rapey. Like, there's no such thing as a husband raping his wife, even if she refuses to have sex.
Yeah, per Islam, there's not. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
Well,
technically,
right,
technically, no.
This is my understanding of what Islam teaches,
I mean,
right?
technically, so
Yeah.
if you were speaking technically, he was not. There's a difference between he was a good. He was saying
Sure.
that.
And
This
you can
technically,
take
yeah.
you can take
But
sex slaves
again,
in Islam
I don't
as well,
think-
right?
What?
You can take sex slaves as like prizes of war. That's in there as well.
Yeah, I guess
That's
so.
true.
Yeah.
But not.
But
like,
again, there
sorry,
are-
not like in. What's the word?
Against other Muslims.
You can't. No.
Also,
yeah.
yes, but
You
that's not
can't
what you're
just-
saying, I
But
guess.
by the way, no. But once they, what's the word? You don't just go and enslave people. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but if you like conquer some place
Yes.
and you get there's
That
some
was
ladies, there's
there,
some
yeah.
ladies knocking around, then you can take a few of them for yourself,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's better than you call her. What? At least better than just raping.
Okay,
them.
don't justify it, please.
I'm not justifying it. I'm
You're
not
about
justifying
to.
it. Why did you say I justified it? Did I say I'm
You said
justifying
it's
it?
better
Did I
than
say-
leaving her. Or
Yeah, it's
whatever.
better than other situation. Like if you look at the Danish people would say when they conquered England, they just straight rape. There was no. But if you like have some
you
sort
think
of
the Muslims didn't do that?
no, I don't. I'm not
Oh,
saying.
let's move back to the other moral point. I want you to argue about a different moral point, and we'll come back to this moral argument as well. It's also, I want to point out before as I'm going to sit and listen to this, you're both moral relativists, I think, so I don't really get how the conversation goes when neither of you believe in like morals. You don't think there's any justification for believing in any set of morals. But you were saying that the dude of the silhouette, the man of the silhouette was bad.
He was saying
immoral.
it was bad. Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just gave you two reasons that I think why he's bad.
So you're taking the
And
bold
also,
stance of
and
anti-rape
because
then, I
the
guess.
other thing is also the fact that most people would listen to him, so he would.
When was he alive? What kind of period was this?
90s,
80s and 90s.
early
Oh, recent then. Recent. Okay,
early
I didn't know.
2000s.
Okay. For some reason I was picturing.
So
like
his
1300s
program was
I think there's a difference
watched
between
by most people.
there's a difference between being
Right.
harsh to the difference between being harsh and being a bad person. He would not personally go and kill
I
someone,
know.
which is different. Which this is, I just think it's an outrageous claim saying I don't have an opinion on him, but I think he was, if we're talking about people who are not hypocritical about their religion, he was one of the most people that was not hypocritical, and he
no.
cannot deny that.
I think there are instances where I mean,
No. Let me hear my phrase again so that you don't infer things I didn't say.
When he used to go to
I
England-
said, no. Hear my phrase again because you infer things I didn't say. I said, when you compare religious people who are really hypocritical about their religion, he was one of a few that were not totally
Oh,
hypocritical
really?
about religions.
okay, when he used to go to England, he would go to nightclubs.
Do what?
I don't know what do people do in
And how-
nightclubs.
How do you know that? Wait, how do you know that? How do you know that? If he did that, how do you think the people back home would
Because
feel
it wasn't known. It was.
How did you? Oh, and how did you know it?
The Egyptian embassy in London. They mailed. I think it was in the 80s. They mailed Sadat, and they told him about it. So it was.
How
known.
did you know about that?
It was
That's my
known
question.
because several sources talked
Funny
about
email
it.
to
Several
send.
sources.
So you never really knew. Have you heard of rumors, man?
Yeah, I've heard of rumors.
I don't think you have.
What was he accused of in the email? It's just seeing like too many $1.
No, so it's
£1
obviously,
Jaeger
it's
bombs
obviously
and
bad
fucking-
to go to a nightclub in Islam. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
saying he was hypocritical by going to a nightclub.
He would change his
Would you agree that
religious
if he
attire.
did go,
I would agree that he would be hypocritical. I don't
Yeah.
disagree, but
Yeah.
my claim is Akram just says things without providing
Dude,
any evidence.
we
for it.
all do. Fuck. Okay, I have to see things to believe them. Then.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah,
Do you wanna-
yeah,
do you
I'm
wanna-
the
Are
type
you
of
trying to
person.
search it? I can use my laptop to ask GPT or Google if that's better.
I don't think GPT would know anything about it.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
test it, man. Let's see. Maybe get too off. So, who is this guy then? So he's an immoral guy according to Akram. He's deeply moral and based.
I don't say. I never
Yeah.
said he was moral or immoral. I just said he was
I can't be bothered.
one of the least hypocritical people.
Okay, yeah, but so
So
people love
really
him.
hypocritical. Yeah, people love them a lot
Yeah, is it just in Egypt or across the Muslim world or like the Middle East?
across the Muslim world.
Okay,
I mean,
and
obviously
there was
Egypt,
art
but-
associated with him that was part of.
By the
that was
way,
a
I just want to
silhouette.
mention something that
Yeah.
there's an institute in Egypt called Al Azhar, which has that fatwa center, that thing that would say
And scholars and all that.
what's haram and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
That's its word is big in the whole Muslim world, if that makes sense. Even not a lot of people, even like other Muslim countries would. That's just taking
Yeah, it
people,
commands respect from it.
not just
And
respect,
listen,
like people. Yeah, people
yeah.
would take his words.
Yeah.
The words. Obviously, they could review and back and forth, but
Yeah,
the scholars in that,
it has weight.
yeah, it has weight.
Okay, yeah.
As is the Orthodox Church in
Mhm.
Egypt as well. Like the Orthodox Church in Egypt they have a pope of their own, if that makes sense.
Well, one of the seas is there, right? The seas in Alexandria, one of the seas. There's like 5 seas, like big ones.
I don't know what that
now.
is.
They have like their top bishops. So like the
But they have a pope, not just a bishop. They have a pope in the Orthodox Church. In
he's
Egypt.
chilling in Alexandria then.
I don't think he's.
So no, there's
is he
there's
Akram? I think
Alexandria.
he's in Cairo, not Alexandria.
Well, I think
Akram, where is he?
historically it was like
What?
Tyre, or it was
What is what?
Antioch,
Sorry, wait, let me.
Constantinople, Alexandria, Rome, and then one of them.
The Pope in
Tyre,
Egypt.
maybe.
Yeah.
The Pope. Where does he reside? Where's the?
In Cairo.
Cairo. Yeah, Cairo.
Is it
Not
Cairo?
Alexandria.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I
Alexandria
think
is
that's
historically
separate.
one of the
That's
seas.
separate. That's separate from the seas.
Yeah, C's.
Seas?
C.
Seas.
C's. So SEES is how I
Okay,
think it.
seas.
I
The Holy
read that like
Seas?
what's that?
The Holy Seas.
Yeah.
So I think that's different. He's
Yeah,
a
fair
pope,
enough,
like
then.
he's an equivalent, so that the Orthodox Church in Egypt is the equivalent of the Vatican in the West.
Yeah, but he has less power than the. We don't need to get into like the theology difference.
It's not a
between
separate
Catholics.
country like the Vatican, but that's the
No, not a
the
separate
religious
country. I'm saying like
equivalent.
Yeah,
the
because-
Pope in Catholicism has more claims more individual power for him himself and has different claims different
I
powers.
want to say
than
it's the
what-
same in the Orthodox Church.
It's definitely different. I can't remember.
Why?
I can't remember
It's
the
not
source
the
of the difference.
same.
But
I don't think
I
it's
know
the same.
there's differences that if like you ask Catholics and Orthodox, that would be maybe seem trivial from the outside, but they would say is like very, very important differences. And you
No,
could
I'm
see
not
the
saying
argument.
it's the same, but I'm saying he has the same revered
Yeah,
position as
similar, very similar.
as the Vatican's Pope.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, that's what, I'm not saying they agree on, or they definitely. I mean, it's
No, I'm
they're
saying
separate
what they would agree.
entities.
I'm saying like what both of those two would agree about their own power and responsibilities and authorities would be slightly different between the two. Like the Pope. Yeah, I don't know enough to.
I
Like,
don't know
give-
enough
to
either.
make definitive statements,
don't
but I
know
know that
enough
I know
either.
enough to know that they are different.
Yeah, I'm not
Slightly.
saying they're
Mostly
the
the
same.
same,
yeah.
but different,
I'm just
yeah.
saying it's the same. Or I'm saying it's the same revered position
Yes.
as the Vatican's
Yeah,
Pope.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
and
just for Egypt. Sorry, not just for Egypt. For like Christians.
Yes, no, I see your point.
All
I
over,
see your
all
point.
over the
yeah,
region.
I see the relation you're saying to the fatwa
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
The dude
But
had a
the
silhouette.
difference,
The dude had a silhouette. Well, you mentioned something about a silhouette is why we were getting on this.
Is because we didn't. I think we were talking about the fact that we couldn't see faces specifically.
Yeah,
Why
but
did
so
you- why
that
did you
guy,
mention that?
you brought
Yeah.
up this guy that we got on the tangent about.
Yeah,
He
what
has
did-
some art associated with him. You were saying that has a silhouette, or why was
No,
he brought up?
he has a distinct look and a hat that when you draw the silhouette, I thought this was God. Like when
And
you
why
draw
did you think that was God? You just
I don't
happened to
know.
think
I
that?
was a kid. I don't know. I thought like
So it's not
I
like
mean,
you
he
saw
was.
it,
I
but-
think. I think it's because I think I know why. It's because it was one of them. As I said,
She's
during
so
his
influential
time,
and
it was.
about.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
okay.
During this time, he was like a really big figure. So you, as a kid, that's the most revered figure that I know. It's
Yes.
like, when I think of God, I'm gonna have some association with this.
And what did you see then?
I just saw a black halo with no. With
Did it have
no-
a human form?
Definitely human form, but no details at all. Just a black.
so.
figure.
God wasn't unlocked when you.
Yeah.
No, maybe,
Need the
maybe,
DLC for
maybe,
that one.
no, maybe that was unlocked.
EA.
No, but maybe he was unlocked because I could see you saw a specific guy's form. I did not see a specific form. It's just like you'd say that's more related to God, more holy.
Oh.
To have less form is more holy.
Yeah, because like comparing it in Islam, it's
Was
big,
he,
like,
androgynous?
He's nothing like any creation, right? You're not supposed to make
Exactly,
any
yeah,
analogy. Yeah.
Was he androgynous?
Maybe he smoked a bit of weed. Yeah.
And just smokes a bit of weed. That's complete nonsense.
Sorry, maybe it's like some psychedelics as well.
Mm.
Maybe that's why I saw him.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Have you tried it?
What?
Psychedelics? No.
Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, you can't.
That's not for anybody to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Ali has or has not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's sacred. If I did not, maybe I did.
Ooh. Yeah. A little teaser. Comment below if you think Ali thinks what happened. You think he's done psychedelics.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think
what
he
do you
did.
think of psychedelics? Genuinely, what do you think of them?
I don't know if I did or
What do you
not.
think?
I
What do
don't-
you think of? Sorry, this is actually a good question. What do you think of a country or a government making some sort of drug illegal?
Psychedelics or just any type
I,
of
Any
I
type of
guess
drug.
it depends on which drug we're talking
No,
about.
what I'm saying. What do you think of the idea of making a drug illegal?
I mean, you look at it from the perspective of, like, is it gonna inhibit the daily activities of people? I mean, obviously.
So destabilize society. Is that what you're saying?
What are you laughing at?
That was a really good one. I did not
That's
intend for it to
nah.
be that way, honestly. That was a really good one. Sorry, what do you mean inhibit the daily activities?
Like,
Let's see you say.
pricks. Sorry, man. Yeah, go on.
Go on.
Like, you can push a lot of drugs onto the population to the point that they can't even function.
Mm.
And
This
if you-
is what
and
we'll go
if you-
towards where I would agree about what you were saying about the economic point of if people are incentive, it's like we can push pharmaceuticals and make a lot of money, and it'll make you a more compliant worker, then that's really good. Then I can see why. Like I think that's one of the things where like the economic incentive pushes that stuff.
No, but
hard.
my point is, let's talk about psychedelics, for instance, specifically.
Yeah.
Don't you think that making something illegal actually pushes it to be done more? Like we have that
It's a
saying.
really
We
interesting
have that
point, man,
saying.
yeah.
We have that saying in Egypt that all that's forbidden is wanted.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a psychological factor.
Yeah, it's like from the biblical story, the apple is forbidden, so I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
Ooh, the taboo, I want to go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you think making it a taboo actually?
There's definitely a factor on that, because I've thought about this a lot before in the past. I was thinking about how, like, if you're in England, we're talking about just psychedelics, I guess, but if you're talking about just drugs in general.
I'm talking about drugs in general. But
Yeah, then I was thinking, like,
there's
there's definitely been times where, like, if it was legal, there's two different ways I think people would think. There'd be people that, like, think of their morals and what they want to do, not even morals, they think about what they want to do regardless of the law, like they don't treat the law as moral. And then if it was legal, they'd be like, it's convenient and easy to get now, I'll get it. I wanted to do it. It wasn't regulated well, and it was difficult to get and kind of shady. Now I can just go grab it easy. Hell yeah, I'm just going to do it. I would have fell into that camp when I was younger more. And then I think there's other people that see stuff that's...
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but...
So this would push you more... I'm
not
disagreeing with your point.
Finish your point.
Yeah, the other point would be the people that see the laws as moral. A lot of people can't... Most people, I don't think, can, like, separate those two thoughts. So what they would do... And they're very trusting of institutions. Yeah. So as soon as it becomes legal and available, they're like, well, it must be good if it's legal. It must be fine if it's legal, and then they would just start doing it.
But I think that will be just a phase that will fade out. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think
it's the point of like the immediate psychological change.
In the past 12 years, the Portuguese government they decriminalized drugs. I wonder how that is going right now.
I don't know.
That thing, and I think maybe this might have been in Switzerland as well. I watched a thing on this a while back. I think what Portugal did in another European country was that they would have a thing of you can go get as much. It would be decriminalized, and then other places, maybe this was the other country, not Portugal, you could go get as much like heroin as you wanted with clean needles for free. But to keep getting it, they make you go into like counseling and do this other thing and like get and try to like fix your life up as you're doing these things. So they say you can have whatever, but you also have to do this program to fix your life.
Is it working?
And they said out of like 100 people, I think like after like 2 years, over 90% of them had fixed their lives and just naturally stopped doing heroin.
So that's I genuinely think it's something that will. So if you like, even let's talk about it in a pure evolutionary sense, it's let's say some people would not care about their lives enough to stop doing it. I think they will have to be extinct, I guess. These people would...
People that are like genetically predisposed to do these things will be...
Not necessarily genetically. I'm saying if you have a society that has people who go... because eventually these drugs will kill you. If you die just out of not having a good life, then eventually these people will just fade out of society and...
Yeah, but if it's not genetically... I agree to a certain degree, but if it's not genetically driven, then you can just have people that get shitty lives.
Keep getting
shitty lives and fall into it.
No, because that's the thing. Because it becomes normalized and it becomes a stereotypical.
I guess what I was picturing.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying. I was picturing an underclass of people like like a bottom, just call it 20%, that have shitty lives and do drugs and die off. You can imagine a middle class that has decent,
I'm saying that
has a good birth rate, and then
off.
people keep dropping below. It depends. I mean, if you had you can imagine an economic system that would keep pushing certain percentages
he's
down
talking
all
my
the time.
language now.
Yeah. But I'm not disagreeing with your point. I was just picturing like a system where it would go
It's escape.
Yeah.
It's a way to escape from the underlying.
But I'm saying there's an end to
cultural
this.
and economic.
I'm saying there's an end to this escape.
I mean, I definitely think about, because we said about, we've spoken about on here before, I've expressed the opinion that stuff's people are genetically predisposed towards certain things, and I've thought the point before that like people are
epigenetics.
They're genetically predisposed to want to have like certain political leanings that comes with like certain genotype correlates with a lot of stuff. So if people of a certain cultural group that are genetically predisposed to be like that refuse to have children, then they'll eventually just stop existing, and then the average sway of things will change over time. So some people, obviously, Irish people...
Let me put it this way.
Irish people are disproportionately alcoholics.
I think I'm going to give you a good response.
Yeah.
Sometimes the society could make things genetic. Because if you have... Let me give you an example. They did this on ants, I think so. Or, I can't remember, flies. It was flies. The fly or the ants would go and eat that thing that's poisoned, and then the generation would know, the following generation would know on its own that this is poisoned and they should not take it. I can't remember what the exact animal, but I want to say flies or ants.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that could happen when the kids see the parents or see these the parent generation dying off having this, that would be a genetic thing. That this is why I said epigenetics. So it doesn't have to be purely instilled because the genes change by the environment. That's
Yeah,
what
so
I'm
it can
trying
be.
to
So
say.
this, yeah, I think it's three things. Is my understanding that it's the cultural aspect, it's the genetic aspect, and it's the epigenetic aspect of it.
So it doesn't have to be that they even if they keep dropping off, there has to be a point where, because you're actively going against survival. And once you stop surviving, once this generation stops surviving, and once people who want to survive see that this is not a survival mechanism, they will eventually stop doing it. When I say people want to survive, they're unconsciously, obviously, want to survive. This is like an instinct there, if that makes sense.
Jack, do you think that there are people who are genetically wired to not be religious?
To not be religious?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard that from somewhere that seems somewhat reputable. That your religiosity can be traced genetically. Again, but the point of this would be that it's also massively cultural, a large portion of culture. I'm not saying it's 100%. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard that there's a genetic component to your religiosity. I think that's the thing.
I mean, if we're talking epigenetics, definitely, yeah. Because some people would see religion like messing with the family, and then just these people keep pushing far away from the religion, and then eventually the following generations of these people would just be predisposed to not having religion.
Like in my case, for example, I grew up in a religious family, but I don't remember being religious at any point.
Yeah.
Right, and I tried, but I couldn't. So I feel like there's some genetic element that
Do you remember when I told you the will to live? I think there's something genetic. The will to live is something genetic, which is not necessarily, you can't really show the gene for that, but you can see that the parents and the offspring, like, I have the will to freaking live.
Yeah, and that can be instilled. That's what I'm saying. I think that can be just innate to people, and that the strength of that is different, and that's and probably correlates with if your dad had that just genetically, you would also have that genetically. And then also if you're being raised by your dad and he instilled these actual philosophical ideas or cultural ideas into you, it's also
it becomes instilled in you.
I mean, do you disagree about the religiosity thing? Was that what you made your point, or are you just saying there's obviously there's other factors as well? Because I agree there's other factors.
I think there are
significant.
Factors.
But do you think religiosity? Would you think there is a genetic component to it? Like people are probably more genetically predisposed to feel these certain feelings.
I believe so, but it's not just one gene; it's a collection.
Yeah, it'd be a collection of genes.
Of genes.
So all my comments here, this would be. You would hope that people that are listening would understand averages. I think that if people get emotional,
statistics, guys,
people really struggle with averages. Yeah. It's like I was thinking about it when you said it. There's a meme that I shared in Valley. It was like a guy talking to a girl, and he says the average height of a woman is 5'6", and she or 5'4", and then she's like, but I'm 5'6", and he just shrugs and sips his coffee. That's not worth engaging, but it's surprising how many people that have done this don't understand the fact that you can say this is the average, and they're like, but I'm not like that, and then miss the point.
Why do you think it's so important that?
Yeah, I'm talking about you specifically, very solipsistic.
Yeah, a bit. What's the word? A bit arrogant of you.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah, pretty arrogant. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to call it?
Yeah. What time is it? Have we recorded on?
No, it's less than 40 minutes.
We can just leave it at 40 if we want.
Yeah.
Akram, do you have anything else to say, or any other questions? I guess.
I'm kind of tired, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty knackered.
I've been awake since 3:30 in the morning. And I've already done a workout, and I have gymnastics from 6:30 to 9:30.
Oh, wow.
Humble bragging on the podcast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, that is going to be... I'm probably not staying the 3 hours. I'm probably leaving before
Yeah, that's mental. That's a lot.
Yeah. I was dozing off on the road.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Yeah.
Definitely not ideal.
No.
I think you're going to know
It's
that.
not. It's a dangerous road.
I know.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
You think it is or is not?
It is a dangerous road.
Yeah.
It is dangerous. Yeah. All right, guys. Let us know if you want to hear anything specific.
And let us know if you think religiosity has a genetic component to it as well.
Yeah. Let us know what you think of genetics in general.
Funny thing, I don't even remember what the topic was in the beginning. No, we're
I brought up like Freud. We were talking about
Oh,
Freud.
okay.
Yeah.
We went on a bit of a went all over the shop, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks for listening,
Sweet.
guys.
We'll see you next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.